Okay, so we've been talking about dividing decimals this week, but we haven't really given you an explanation as to why we're doing what we're doing when we're dividing decimals, so we want to look at that tonight. In order for you to understand that, one of the things we need to talk about is what happens when you multiply by a power of 10. So let's say you have the number 2 times 10. Alright, so we already know that 2 times 10 is equal to 20. Well, if we think of 2 as a decimal, if we make that 2.0 times 10, then we can see that when I multiply 2.0 times 10, really all I did was I moved my decimal over one place, and I got 20. Alright, we can do the same thing with other powers of 10. If I do 2 times 100, okay, we know that that's going to be equal to 200. Alright, but if we think of 2 as 2.0 times 100, then we can see to get to 200, I need to move my decimal 2 places. Alright, there are 2 zeros, and I move it 2 places. Alright, so this is always true when you're multiplying by a power of 10. Doesn't matter what the number is. I could do 2.0 times 1,000. If there are if there are 3 zeros, then I'm going to move my decimal 3 places. Okay, which sometimes means I end up adding zeros, right? So I would have to add 2 zeros to the end of this to get 2,000. Well, this applies to what we've been doing in division. So if I think of the problem, if I think of a division problem that has decimals, let's say 6.4 divided by 0.08. Well, you know from the other videos that to set this up, I'm going to do the first number inside. I'm going to do the last number or the second number, philo or FISO, on the outside. Okay, and then you also know that we don't know how to divide by decimals, so somehow we have to get rid of them. And so we've told you that if you're going to move the decimal over 2 places here, then you also need to move the decimal over 2 places here. So in this case, I have to add a 0 in order to move it over 2 places. Okay, or you might have heard us talk about the fox chasing the rabbit. Same idea here. So what we want to do is understand maybe why we're doing that. Not just to get rid of the decimal, but as to why we change the numbers that we're dividing. Because this now becomes 8 into 640. So if we think of this problem, if I rewrite this in fraction form, 6.4 over 0.08. If I want to divide these numbers, but I don't want them to have decimals, well, what I could do is multiply them by a power of 10 that would move the decimal over so that I no longer have decimal numbers anymore. So I know that if I need to move my decimal 2 places, then I need to multiply by a power of 10 that has 2 zeros. So that would be the number 100. Right? And then again, whatever I do to one of them, I also need to do to the other, that way that it stays an equivalent problem. Alright, so if I move the decimal up here 2 places, then what I end up with is 640. And if I move the decimal 2 places here, what I end up is 8. And if you use top in and bottom out, you can see that this is the same exact problem as the one I have here. Alright, so basically when you're dividing decimals and you're moving that decimal place over, you're just multiplying by a power of 10 so that you can rewrite the problem without any decimals. The important thing to remember is, again, whatever you do on this outside here, you're going to also have to do the exact same thing on the inside.